state titles and signals the end of the school year, but one state title that may have slipped past your gaze. How about state rugby? Well, the Sims Vigilantes can tell you all about it and show you their 2014 trophy.
We had more experienced team in the past. It's always been every year we've had to start over at the basics, and so this year we only had 2 seniors graduate last year, so we had a lot of our returning players, and so we had that experience, so we got to start off kind of new.
Experience and some hard work led to the Sims Vigilantes claiming a state rugby title. The Vigilantes knew they had the potential to contend, but had some setbacks, if you can call it that. They did go 10-0. But for Sims, some early close calls lit a fire heading into the middle of this year's season.
A really big turning point in our season is when we went to the Idaho trip. There's a camp there that ISU puts on, and we learned a whole bunch of new things for our backs, which is kind of almost like the pretty boys in football, the running backs and the receivers do all the scoring. We got to learn a whole bunch of new moves that we could do, and when we brought them to these Montana teams, it kind of caught them off guard.
Sims went head-to-head with programs from Kalispell, Helena, and some of Montana's largest cities and still hung tough. They say that's because they've been playing together for almost 5 years. So to walk away as champs was a solid ending.
And it was literally like floating on air. Like, I just remember after we scored, Carlos, our kicker for an exchange student, came over and he just gave me a big hug, and it was pretty emotional, and everyone just felt it, and it was literally like floating on air.
You know, it's really pretty cool because being from Sims, you know, with the exception of this year, we haven't had a lot of success in sports, and a lot of us are 3-sport athletes, so we've all been through the wins and the losses and everything like that. We know what it's like to lose, and so it's really cool to have the chance to call ourselves state champs.
But as DeBolt recalls, the championship game went down to the final seconds.
I heard the ref's watch go off, and after time goes out, you still get time to go in and score, so I knew we were in some trouble. And then we got a penalty, and Zeb picked it up and ran it really quick, and he didn't make it all the way. So he passes it to me, and I just run in and dive, and that was it.
That was the final word. The Vigilantes topped Kalispell 24-19 to claim their state trophy, and now Sims came close to a trophy in 2011, but they're not complaining about this season.
It's kind of a relief. Played freshman year, and then we worked so hard then, and then we just kind of fell back and lost. But then we got to pick it all back up this year, and so it's a great relief.
This year was the real definition of a teamwork, a family coming together to try to win something. I mean, like Drew said, we started out slow, and then we working up, went to Idaho, and then we got together, started beating Helena and everything. So it was a really good year.
It was a good season. I'm going to miss being with my brothers on the field, and I'm happy with it now since we got our state championship.
Now for some MHSA state tournaments in the Electric City this week. State AA track and State C track kick off on Friday and will wrap up on Saturday. Field events for both days begin at 9 in the morning. Running events are slated to start at 10:30 both days. Then for AA softball, their tournament kicks off tomorrow, wraps up on Friday. Opening games start at 11:30 for your AA teams. For BC softball, their tournament lasts 3 days. Their first round games will begin tomorrow at 1:30. Back after this.
Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Tillman Motor Company.